Have you ever walked past a mirror and thought, when did I start looking so tired? Or maybe you felt like people treat you a little differently now. Not quite dismissively, but not like they used to. The truth is, aging doesn't sneak up on us all at once. It shows up in the small things: how we carry ourselves, how we speak, what we wear, even the way we respond to the world around us. And here's the kicker. Most of these changes go unnoticed by us, but are quietly registered by everyone else. Now, this video isn't about vanity. It's not about chasing youth or trying to pretend we're 40 again. This is about self-respect, presence, and owning our years with dignity. Because here's what no one tells you. You don't have to accept looking and feeling older as an automatic part of aging. We're going to break down 6 surprisingly common habits that might be aging you more than you think. And most importantly, how to fix them easily. These aren't expensive makeovers or time-consuming routines. They're simple mindset shifts and tiny tweaks that can completely change how others see you and how you see yourself. So don't click away. What you'll hear today may just help you feel sharper, more connected, and more in control. Starting today. Stick around to the end, because the last one is something almost everyone overlooks. Let's begin. 1. Neglecting personal grooming. The quiet signal so people notice first. As we grow older, there's a subtle shift that can happen without us even realizing it. The morning routines we once followed with care, shaving, brushing our hair, choosing a clean, sharp-looking outfit, might slowly fade into the background. Not because we've stopped caring, but because life gets simpler and comfort takes priority. And while there's absolutely nothing wrong with simplicity, neglecting basic grooming can send signals we don't intend to send. Let's face it, people don't always say what they notice, but they do notice. An untrimmed beard, long nails, dry or flaky skin, or wearing the same shirt for 3 days straight might not seem like a big deal to us, but to others, it can suggest fatigue, disengagement, or even poor health. Take a moment and think about the last time you updated your look. When was your last haircut? Do your clothes fit comfortably but still look neat? These small things don't just impact how others see us, they shape how we feel about ourselves. Studies consistently show that when we feel well-groomed, we naturally stand straighter, smile more, and carry a stronger presence. The good news? You don't need a full makeover. A trim every few weeks, using a gentle face moisturizer, brushing your hair daily, and wearing freshly laundered clothes that fit well can work wonders. Even keeping your nails clean and trimmed speaks volumes. If you wear facial hair, keeping it neat can add a sense of structure and style without trying too hard. And don't underestimate the power of scent. Subtle cologne or deodorant adds polish without saying a word. Looking good isn't about vanity, it's about vitality. These are acts of self-respect that tell the world, I still care. I'm still here. And that confidence, it's contagious. 2. Speaking too loudly or interrupting. When conversation becomes a monologue. Have you ever been in a conversation and noticed people slowly leaning back or giving you polite nods, but not really engaging? If so, you might unknowingly be speaking louder than you think or interrupting more often than intended. This isn't a character flaw. It's often a natural side effect of aging. As hearing begins to fade, many of us instinctively raise our voices. We may not even realize we're doing it, especially if no one's brave enough to say something. The tricky part? When we speak too loudly or cut people off mid-sentence, it can come across as dominating, even when that's not our intention. People may start avoiding longer conversations or letting us talk without really responding, and that can slowly chip away at our social connections. But here's the encouraging news. Awareness is everything. Start by noticing how people react when you speak. Are they backing up? Are they talking softer or pausing more than usual? That's often a sign to soften your tone and slow your pace. Also consider this. Good conversation is like a dance. It flows best when each person gets a turn. Pausing to listen, letting someone finish their thought, or simply nodding to show you're present makes the interaction more rewarding for everyone. If you suspect hearing loss might be playing a role, there's no shame in getting it checked. In fact, a simple hearing test could dramatically improve your ability to connect more deeply with others. When you adjust your volume and timing, something powerful happens. People start leaning in rather than pulling away. Your words land better, your stories hit harder, and most importantly, others feel seen and heard too. So next time you're chatting with family or friends, remember, the best conversations aren't the loudest. They're the ones where everyone feels valued. 3. Outdated or ill-fitting clothes. When comfort quietly dulls your presence. Let's be honest, most of us find a few favorite outfits and stick with them. They're comfortable, familiar, and easy to grab on a busy morning. But here's the catch. Clothing sends a message, whether we intend it or not. Wearing clothes that are faded, stretched out, or simply from another decade can give off the impression that we've stopped paying attention. Even if we feel fine inside, an old pair of pants or a shapeless shirt might say, "I don't care anymore." That's rarely the message we want to send, especially when we still have so much energy and wisdom to share. This isn't about fashion trends or trying to dress like someone half your age. It's about staying current for you. Clothes that fit well, are clean and pressed, and suit your shape can instantly make you feel sharper and more put together. Think about how you feel when you wear a new shirt that fits just right. You stand taller, you carry yourself differently. People often respond to that energy with smiles, compliments, and greater engagement. What can you do without overhauling your entire wardrobe? Start small. Maybe it's time to replace that worn-out cardigan with a structured sweater in a rich, flattering color. Or swap baggy jeans for a pair that sits comfortably at the waist and has a clean silhouette. Look for fabrics that breathe but still hold shape. Cotton blends, light wool, or soft knits work great. And don't forget accessories. A fresh pair of shoes, a classic watch, or even a smart belt can tie everything together. These subtle choices show that you still take pride in your appearance. Ultimately, dressing well isn't about impressing others. It's about expressing confidence. When you feel good in your clothes, the world feels a little more open. You walk into the room with energy and people notice. So the next time you reach for that old sweater, pause and ask, "Is this me today, or just a habit from years ago?" 4. Complaining or criticizing too much. When negativity silently builds distance. We all have things we wish were different. The way people drive, how fast technology moves, how customer service used to be better. And let's face it, when you've lived through decades of change, it's natural to compare the present with the past. But here's something important to remember. Frequent complaining or criticizing, even casually, can slowly push people away. Over time, what starts as lighthearted commentary can begin to feel heavy to those around us. Family members, friends, or neighbors may find themselves cutting conversations short, not because they don't care, but because the tone feels draining. And the hardest part? Most people won't tell you this directly. They'll just stop engaging as deeply. It's not about being fake or pretending life is perfect. It's about striking a healthy emotional balance, acknowledging frustrations without letting them dominate the conversation. For example, instead of saying, "Kids these days have no respect," you might try, "Things sure are different now. What do you think is causing the shift?" That one change turns a complaint into a conversation. It invites engagement rather than resistance. One powerful trick? Adopt a one-for-one rule. Every time you notice yourself pointing out something negative, balance it with a positive or curious remark. If you're frustrated with the noise of the modern world, take a moment to appreciate the convenience that technology brings. It shifts your mindset, and it makes people want to be around you more. People naturally gravitate toward those who lift them up, even subtly. Your presence can be comforting, wise, and enjoyable, not because you sugarcoat the truth, but because you offer it with warmth, perspective, and a touch of optimism. Remember, it's not the occasional venting that drives people away. It's the steady drip of negativity. When you speak with awareness and empathy, your words carry weight, and people listen longer and more often. 5. Poor posture and body language. What you say without saying a word. You can wear a sharp outfit, speak clearly, and have great stories to share. But if your body language sends the wrong message, people may misread you before you've said a single word. That's the power of posture. As we age, it's common to develop habits like slouching, crossing our arms, shuffling our feet, or keeping our eyes down. It's not always intentional. Sometimes it's due to joint stiffness, muscle loss, or simply not noticing the way we carry ourselves. But here's the truth. Our body language speaks volumes, and it often speaks before we do. Poor posture can unintentionally send signals of fragility, disinterest, or low energy. Even when we feel alert and capable inside, people may assume we need help when we don't, or worse, they may overlook us altogether. That's why being mindful of how you stand, sit, and move is more important than ever. So what can you do? Start by becoming aware of your body in everyday situations. When you're standing, imagine a string gently pulling the top of your head upward. This naturally lifts your chest and aligns your spine. When you walk, avoid dragging your feet. Take purposeful, full steps. And during conversations, make eye contact, uncross your arms, and use small, expressive gestures to stay engaged. Posture isn't just about appearance. It affects how you feel. Studies show that standing tall can increase confidence, boost energy, and even improve mood. It can reduce the physical fatigue that comes from hunching over, and it makes social interactions more dynamic and respectful. You don't need a physical therapist to begin making improvements. A few minutes each day of stretching, mindful movement, and intentional posture checks can make a huge difference. Remember, your posture is a reflection of your presence. When you carry yourself with strength and openness, others respond accordingly. They see confidence, vitality, and someone who's still fully engaged with life. So take a breath, straighten up, and walk into the room like you still belong there, because you absolutely do. 6. Bad breath or body odor. The unspoken barrier that pushes people away. Let's talk about something that's rarely discussed, but often noticed immediately: personal odor. Whether it's bad breath or body odor, it's one of those sensitive topics people are too polite to bring up. But it can have a big impact on how others interact with us, especially in close settings like family dinners, church gatherings, or doctor visits. As we age, several factors come into play. A reduced sense of smell means we may not notice changes in our breath or body. Certain medications, medical conditions, or even dentures can dry out the mouth, creating the perfect environment for odor-causing bacteria. Add in dehydration, a slower metabolism, or re-wearing clothes one too many times, and the problem quietly grows. The worst part? Most people won't say a word. They'll just step back or cut conversations short. But here's the good news. Small steps can make a big difference. Start with hydration. Drinking at least 8 cups of water daily helps flush toxins, reduce dry mouth, and boost saliva production, which naturally keeps breath fresher. Sugar-free gum or mints can also help stimulate saliva and mask odors in a pinch. For your body, consider using breathable fabrics like cotton and shower regularly with antibacterial soap. Rotating your deodorants every few months can also help avoid odor buildup that the body becomes used to. And don't forget often overlooked items like hats, scarves, pillowcases, or jackets. Wash them regularly to keep musty smells at bay. Dental care is crucial. Brushing twice a day, flossing, and using an alcohol-free mouthwash can go a long way, especially if you wear dentures. If issues persist, it might be worth visiting a dentist or doctor to rule out underlying health causes. This isn't about trying to be perfect, it's about being aware. Cleanliness signals vitality, attention to self-care, and social consideration. It's a quiet but powerful form of respect, both for yourself and for those around you. Because when people lean in to hear your story instead of leaning away, you'll feel the difference immediately. And the confidence it brings, it's something no cologne can buy. Now that we've explored these 6 subtle habits, from grooming and clothing to posture, communication, and hygiene, it's clear that aging gracefully isn't about denying our years, but about refining how we show up in the world. Every one of these habits is fixable, not with expensive products or drastic changes, but with simple awareness and small, consistent actions. And that's the beauty of it. You don't need to turn back the clock. You just need to show the world that you're still engaged, self-aware, and proud of who you are today. Remember, these aren't about impressing others. They're about preserving dignity, expressing confidence, and staying connected to the people around you. Because how we present ourselves, physically, emotionally, and socially, speaks louder than words. And if you noticed yourself in one or two of these habits, that's not something to be embarrassed about. It's something to be empowered by. Recognizing a blind spot is the first step toward change, and the fact that you're here, watching, reflecting, and thinking forward, that already sets you apart. So as you move through your week, take a moment each day to ask, how am I showing up today? What quiet message is my presence sending to the world? With just a little intention, you can shift the answer toward vitality, confidence, and genuine connection. Thank you for spending this time with us. If this video sparked some new thoughts or reminded you of something important, we'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who could use a little inspiration too. Here's to aging with purpose and living each day with pride.